Do you need to get back on track with life? Maybe you got sick, or your kids got sick, or both, and everything else in life just got put on the back burner. Or maybe you had company over for an extended period of time and now everything is off. Or maybe you just got back from vacation and are just trying to get back into the swing of things. Or maybe you just went through some other super nuts period for whatever the reason and everything is just out of whack. Well, let's talk today about how to get back on track in life when we have these sorts of short-term setbacks, shall we? So hey there, and welcome back. I'm Alicia from Alicia Cohen Designs, where I teach you intentional planning and productivity. If you're new around here, would you please do me a big favor and hit that subscribe button? It means a lot to me, helps support my channel, and it's just really nice to know that I have supporters out there. So please give that subscribe button a tap. And now, let's get to our topic. Now, real quick, before I get started here, I want to tell you about a freebie that I have for you. I'll talk about it at the end of this video, but if you're too curious to wait, it's linked in the description below so that you can snag it. It's called the Chaos to Calm Roadmap. Okay, listen. In the middle of preparing and filming a series for you all about how to finish what you start, I got sick. For 2 weeks. And I'm still recovering to 100% myself now, which is why you haven't seen the next part of the series yet. How's that for some irony, right? But don't worry, I will be finishing what I started and getting you the rest of that series soon. But for today, let's talk about how to get back on track with life when you've had some sort of setback that you need to recover from. And if my voice sounds weird or if I cough, please bear with me because I think I'll go bananas if I try to edit out every little cough as I'm recording this video for you all. So let me just be real, because that's what I do. Here's what happened. I got sick, my husband got sick, and so did the kids. We were in survival mode, and I don't mean survival mode like when someone's life has gotten out of control because they've allowed too much on their plate. When it comes to planning and productivity, that's a different topic than what we're covering here in this video. If you're listening to this video to try to solve the chronic problem of my life feels out of control, this video won't help much. This video also isn't for more serious matters like the loss of a loved one or serious health issues or things like that. Of course, those things matter very much, and they're just not going to be covered properly in this video here. So what we are talking about here today is recovering from when things just got a little wacko for a little bit, from getting sick for a short while or coming back from vacation or having guests stay for an extended time, things like that. So back to my life. We all got sick over here to varying degrees, so what did that look like? We scaled way back to the super basics. Eating, just trying to keep the kids occupied, and doing necessary laundry like cloth diapers because we do cloth diapering over here, and it was easier to just keep going with cloth diaper laundry rather than trying to deal with disposable diaper leaks and whatnot. So that's mostly it. That's what life looked like here. My business had to go on the back burner. My usual chores dropped. Other goals and tasks and projects I was working on dropped. Even the robot vacuum didn't run like usual because it got stuck under the couch one evening and I didn't even have the bandwidth to get it out so that it could do its thing. Again, dropped. So got the picture? Surfaces got cluttered. Things weren't being cleaned like usual. I let my email pile up. Things just went on pause pretty much. And I was just trying to rest as much as possible while tag teaming with my husband to take care of our 2 young kids. But this is a video on how to get back on track with life after these sorts of setbacks. So now that I've set the stage for what was happening and not happening over here, let's get into that. I'm going to give you the simple process for what I do in these sorts of situations, and I hope that it helps you too. So first, let's talk mindset. You know that I'm all about mindset. So of course it pops up here. I have 3 mindset areas for us to think about for getting back on track with life. The first one is to remember that it's not going to be like this forever. This is a phase. This is a season. And if you've been hanging around my channel at all, you know that I'm big on seasons, and it applies here. So when things get frustrating or aren't clicking back into place as fast as you'd like, And let's be honest, as fast as I'd like for myself, because I'm making this video because I'm living it out right now. So all of this is very fresh and very much I need to take my own advice kind of thing over here. But yeah, so when things aren't getting back to normal as quickly as you'd like, repeat to yourself over and over, repeat to myself over and over, it's not going to be like this forever. It's not going to be like this forever. You will get back to normal. I will get back to normal. Our second mindset, know your escape plan and use it. The key to beating overwhelm here is to have an escape plan and to follow it. And in this case, having a simple, straightforward plan is essential because we're bouncing back from getting thrown off. So we need the quickest way out of the maze possible so that we can get back to business as usual. So I'm going to give you my simple plan in just a minute here, but for now, I just wanted to highlight this particular piece of our mindset game for getting back on track with life. Okay, and mindset 3, slow and steady gets back on track. Not slow and steady wins the race because this isn't a race, but slow and steady will get you back on track. Small steps, small actions, baby steps, whatever you want to call it, do these as you're able and you will make progress. You will get out of the quicksand and you will get back on track. Okay, we'll continue on in just a moment, but before we get back to it, if you haven't already, would you please hit that subscribe button? As I like to say, you subscribing is kind of like the gasoline for my channel, keeps things running around here, so please help keep this puppy running and subscribe. Okay, back to it. So now, the plan. And honestly, for me, when it comes to feeling overwhelmed, sometimes just having a plan is what I need to get me going, get me moving forward. And so if you're anything like me, hopefully just having a plan and having something spelled out for you will just give you that little push to just help you get to where you want to be, get back to where you're feeling normal again, and just give you that structure and that game plan, that plan. So step 1, brain dump for whatever got off. So are things swirling around in your head with everything that got out of whack and everything that you're behind on and so on and blah, right? Write all of that down. Get it out of your head, get it onto paper, and if it freaks you out and overwhelms you when you look at all of it on the paper, then just go back to the 3 mindset pieces and say them to yourself. It's going to be okay. You're going to get through this. You are going to get back on track. Step 2, get back to baseline. Baseline is your basic normal. Work on restoring things to usual in terms of how your house looks and your chores and the basics of how your life runs. Did counters get cluttered and they're not usually like that? Tidy them up. And note the key word here being usually. Only restore clutter-free counters if this is how your home usually is. Now is not the time to take on a new decluttering project. That can come later. Or let's say you're getting back into normal life after a vacation. Get the suitcases unpacked, laundry done, and stuff put away. And maybe, like in my case, did you stop doing most chores? Start adding them back into your routine one by one. And if you've been sick, then be especially aware of your energy level. It's okay if it takes some time to get all the usual chores worked back in. It may not feel okay, but it is okay. Again, not a race. Your sanity and health matter more here. Keep chipping away, slow and steady. You will get there. So over the course of a week or more or less, whatever you have the bandwidth for, get your usual home operations and life operations back up and running. And then, step 3, brain dump what's left. You might not need to do this, but if you feel like you've gotten back to baseline, but there's still a swirly mess in your head of what you still need to catch up on from your setback, then you're not back to baseline yet. Do another brain dump. of whatever still needs to be attended to from when things got off. Keep working the plan of adding things back in and chipping away at the pileup as your time and energy allows. Stay the course and keep after getting back to baseline. When you've gotten there, then move on to the final step, step 4. So if you're at this step, step 4, then that means that you're back to business as usual and that things are up and running good enough. Again, if not, keep repeating steps 2 and 3 until you get there, and then move on to step 4, which is start adding the extras back in. Other chores, goals, projects, tasks, activities, etc. Resist the urge to do step 4 out of order. Do first things first and second things second. Remember that we're working an escape plan here. The quickest way out of the quicksand is to work these steps in this order, okay? So no skipping around. Like I said, first things first and then second things second. So there you have it. My simple steps for you for how to get back on track with life when you've encountered some sort of short-term setback. Keep this video in your back pocket or bookmarked or saved in your favorites or whatever so that you can come back to it when you need it for those future times when you find yourself off track. Okay, so that freebie I promised you that I would tell you about. If you liked this video and want to know more about the process for planning and productivity that I use in my normal everyday life, then check out my freebie that's linked in the description below. You can use it for yourself once you're feeling back up to speed from your setback. It's called the Chaos to Calm Roadmap. It's a downloadable PDF that goes through the 6 steps of going from feeling overwhelmed in your life to feeling in control in your life. It's what I use in my own life, and so I created this freebie so that I could share it with you. In the Chaos to Calm Roadmap, I've also included the 3 mistakes to avoid when it comes to ditching overwhelm. So go check out my freebie below and see what you think. As always, thanks so much for spending this time with me and also for hanging in there with me while I'm not quite back to 100% myself yet. That wraps us up for today. I'll leave you with my parting encouragement. As always, if you're feeling overwhelmed today, remember that when it comes to planning and productivity, being intentional plus not giving up means that you are going to get there. Catch you next time. Take good care.